goodness, what a beautiful day. It's 50 degrees now. It's going to be pushing 60 degrees later today. Some rain going to be moving in. And then by tomorrow here, the bottom's going to drop out to 20 degrees at least again, and snow and everything else that comes with that. But right now it is gorgeous right here. You know, we're bird watchers, and when it's nasty and raining and wet and cold, that's duck weather there. That's ducks weather. That's a good day to see ducks. They seem to be enjoying the sunshine today, soaking up some rays. You know, one of the claims that people make against Christmas is that it is a pagan holiday, or that it's based on a pagan holiday. The reality, though, is that there's no evidence to suggest that they chose the winter solstice time to intersect with that pagan holiday at all. There's no reference to that in history. They could have used deduction to choose that time period based on when they think the conception of Christ was in the spring. They could have put things together that way. It could be because it's the darkest time of the year and Jesus is the light of the world. There are a number of reasons why they chose that particular time to observe Christ's birth. Would it matter when they chose it? There would still be opposition, but they chose that time of year. So one of the things is they say, oh, well, it's based on a pagan holiday. Well, there's no evidence of that, and there's easily excuses as to why they chose that time. One thing that might be is just this idea of redeeming the calendar, and the Christians taking back the holidays, or taking back the calendar, and all these feasts and celebrations that had something to do with some pagan ritual. They were stamping out the Christian ideology on that, and taking over these time periods to say, no, it's no longer this holiday. Now it is a Christian holiday. So there might be some of that also. Just sneezed and bit my tongue with my crooked face. Can't control everything the way it needs to be controlled. But what about Christmas trees? Oh, interesting. There's fir trees right there. What about these evergreen trees? What about these Christmas trees? Well, evergreen trees have been used in pagan holidays and celebrations and winter solstice things for a long time. But now those things have taken on Christian meaning. The tree of life, the light of the world, and the wood of the cross. All those things are symbolic in the Christmas tree. And one thing, even though I was out here kicking and moaning yesterday about the changing of the weather and the changing back and forth and hot and cold, I got too many clothes on today, but I'm keeping them on. That probably didn't sound very good on the mic, but I'm keeping them on because my baby little lungs are loving it. All that junk that's down in there because of the cold air, this hot air, and all this movement is working those things out. So my lungs appreciate this temperature a lot better. And it doesn't seem like the Christmas tree was even adopted or brought into use until the 16th century, and probably from the German culture. So I suppose you could still tie it to a pagan meaning, but it wasn't adopted till much later. And Christians have a tradition, or a habit of taking symbols and making them their own. Certainly some would say that the cross is a symbol of death, but for us as Christians, it's a symbol of life. I don't worship the Christmas tree. I don't worship the tree. I worship the one who made the tree. I know who made the tree. I know who ordered the planets. I know who made the seasons. I'm not celebrating the winter solstice. I'm not celebrating the sun or the moon or the stars. I'm not celebrating the tree. I'm worshiping the one who made all of these, the one who puts all these things into order. Now, I think we already talked about it before, but those pigs should have been out of here by now. And I didn't calculate right on the butcher times. I know over the years, and especially there after COVID, the butchers were booked out for a long time. And I thought that settled down a little bit with my experience in the recent years. But this year, apparently they're still 3 and 4 months booked out. So they should have been gone. You don't want to be taking care of, not here, not in this situation. You don't want to be taking care of pigs this time of year, because it's just no good. Too much fighting with the water, too much slop and mud, and just not adequate shelter. You want to get them out of here before the winter sets in. That's a fail on my part. So deniers and others who want to be legalistic or dogmatic and claim some kind of high ground, as to saying that Christmas is a pagan holiday, and that either Christians are wrong for taking it because they took all the gifts and the feasts and all that and incorporated it right into Christianity. I say, yeah, if they did, that's great, because they claimed this for Christianity. They claimed this for Christ. So nobody looks at it in the context of a pagan holiday. Nobody does. When you look at it, you think of Jesus. It's inescapable. So is there any decree saying you have to worship Christmas? No. So if you belong to a group or a church that says we don't partake in Christmas and we don't partake in any of that, secular nonsense or any of the materialism, that's fine. There's no prescription biblically that says that you have to. Neither is there one that says we can't. Because I believe that we're allowed to make any day we want a holy day, and we can claim anything in the name of Christ. So if our forefathers have claimed this time period for Christmas, and this is claimed for Christ, and we get to speak to the world about Jesus, then I say we should. If we're going to get dogmatic and twist ourselves around, certain things, then we're going to have to look at a gigantic picture and become real problematic about even living in this world, because cell phones, printing press, how many different things could we say that are used in a secular or materialistic or a commercial way that we use to spread the gospel? It's just a tool. It's just a celebration that we get to have to proclaim Jesus Christ before the world. And I think it should be a grand celebration, especially if people are going to say it's a pagan origin or a pagan holiday. Let's let them know clearly that we have claimed this day for Jesus. Now, on one hand, I'd like to say that keeps you young. You don't have to buy a gym membership, and you're getting exercise, and your heart rate increases, and you're probably burning some calories and burning some fat. So on one hand, I'd like to say that keeps you young. On the other hand, I wonder how much that expedites the aging process, because my shoulders and my arms did not appreciate that very much at all. I think these must be heavier than the last time. They must have soaked up more water since the last time I rolled them in. The others are kept inside, so when we get to those, that should be a little more manageable. But these bad boys, plus I rolled it over some snow. Whew, that was not a good time. When we think about Christmas, and we find ourselves maybe getting in a little bit of a bad mood or depressed or getting some sad feelings during this time of year, we turn our focus properly to Christ and understand that the giving of the gifts is symbolic of the gifts brought to the King when he was born. That the Christian values of joining together, being a family, brother and sister, it's good to come together and have a feast together, to celebrate with one another. I mean, the Lord knows we can't make it through this life on our own. So we need to join together. We need to have allies. We need to have friends and family, people that are close to us that we get to celebrate with and have joyous times with. Give your gifts. Have your meals and celebrate Christmas for what it is, the birth of Jesus Christ. I think the storm front is upon us. The birds are getting kind of active. The wind hasn't really picked up, but it's starting to rain a little here. The skies got dark. I can see clear skies off to the east. Off to the west, it's dark skies. So the beginning of the storm front might be on us. Still going to be plenty warm, but throughout the day tomorrow, the temperature is going to drop. We are supposed to get that quick flash of snow and ice, which here, for our elevation and here in the mountains here, will be a problem. It will cause probably people to have accidents. I hope not. I hope everybody's paying attention, and it's going to be right at the time people are getting off work. So I just pray that everybody is safe and that maybe it won't change over. Maybe the cold air won't push in as fast as they're saying. We've already canceled church for tomorrow because we can't have people at that time of day getting out and being on those slick roads. So I just hope everybody else uses some wisdom and is safe. And maybe we won't even get that. Maybe it'll just take a little longer for it to develop, and we won't get the snow in conjunction with we won't get the cold in conjunction with the moisture. But it's picking up a little bit on me now here, so that's going to do it for today. Love y'all. Merry Christmas.